कुछ नया स्टार्ट करते हैं, बिकॉज आई डोंट नो वेयर वी वर एंड हाउ मच वी हैव डन, or we can try doing some questions, then we will have idea to how much we have covered. Yeah, what do you say?
Sir, new chapter.
New chapter na? Hmm.
Yes,
So
sir, new chapter.
Yes, sir, new chapter.
so क्या स्टार्ट करें, बताओ आप लोग.
Sir, functions.
फंक्शन स्टार्ट करें.
Limitation.
हाँ, तो
Sir, limit start करो.
एक्चुअली वो सब रिलेटेड है, लाइक जैसे देखो, जो कैलकुलस है वो स्टार्ट होता है फंक्शन से, देन फंक्शन के बाद आएगा लिमिट्स, then it will come continuity, then differentiability. Okay, so function, limits, continuity, differentiability, then it will come differentiation, integration, and then it become differential equation. So these are connected topics, means function you first have to do. Based on function you can do limits, because limits will require the concept of functions, then continuity will require concept of limits. So all are connected, so one by one you can go. After continuity you can do differentiability, then you can do differentiation, then integration, then differential equation. In between we have application of derivative, we will have application of integration, we will have. Okay, so we will have application of integration. Okay, so application of integration. So for that we have to start with the function then. So can we start with the function?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. Then we have to finish the calculus part. मतलब all are connected, so we can do so. Okay, so let's do. So simply let's start with the function. Okay, so confirm me one thing, you can see my video also, you can see the screen also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So what is a function? If I define function, so uh, function is what? Actually it is a rule. There are two families, or you say two sets. Suppose A is a set, B is a set, and we want to relate them according to some rule. So that rule is function actually. So A will have some elements, you can say for example 1 2 3, just for example, and here I can say 5 6 7 8 like this. So set A has 3 elements 1 2 3, set B has 4 elements 5 6 7 8, and we want to relate two sets according to a rule. That rule is a function. But what is exclusive rule? So I will write the definition. So according to definition, what is a function? A function is a rule, and I think you can note it down also. I will wait for you, so it will be better if you note down, then you will understand better. Or I can share this PDF also, so whatever way you like, I will do. Okay, so you can note it down with me, or if you say, then I will make the PDF of this written notes and I will share to you. I will share with ma'am will share to you. Okay, so a function is a rule which assign, which assign each element, which associate, you can write assign or you can say associate. So which associate each, this word is important, each element of set A to a unique element in set B. So this is the definition. What is said? Function is a rule, and that rule associate each element of set A to a unique element of set B. So suppose I want to I make a relationship from set A to set B. Suppose 1 associates with 7, suppose 2 is associated with 6, 3 is associated with 8. So you read the definition and tell me, can we say it is a function?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
because it is saying each element of A. So each element A has 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Each element of set A associates is associated by unique image in set B. Unique means 1 has only one image, 2 has also only one image, and 3 has also only one image. So we call it is a function. So this is called arrow diagram. So this diagram name is arrow diagram. We can write it other form also. So this is arrow diagram. We can write the same relation. We will write like f is function from A to B. And if I want to write into roster form, so we can write it like f is equal to order pair 1 is related to, 1 is mapped to 7, 2 is mapped to 6, and 3 is mapped to 8. So this is a roster form of the same function. Or you can also write some relationship like x comma y such that x belongs to A and y belongs to B. Then you can say, you can also write like when x is 1, y is 7, like this you can write. When x is 2, y is 6, when x is 3, y is 8. Okay, one example I will give, where suppose A is a set containing 1, 2, 3, and B is a set containing 4, 5, 6, 7. Suppose I want to make a rule from A to B. So 1 has image 6, 3 has image 4, 2 has image 5, again 1 has image 6. So is it a function?
Yes, sir. It is a function.
Okay, so you look at the example carefully. 1 has image 6 and 7, 2 has image 5, and 3 has image 4. Now you read the definition. So I am looking for definition. Okay, so you read definition also, as you see example also. Now you try to see.
No, sir, it's not a set.
Not a function, sir.
Function, yeah. Why not a function?
Not, sir.
Function.
Yes, so which rule is not satisfied? I mean, what condition it do not satisfy?
A unique element.
Sir, one has two unique pairs.
Right.
Yes.
So unique means one and only one image. So here 1 has 2 images, that is not unique, but it says every element of A must have a unique image in B. So 1 has 2 distinct images, one has image 6 as well as image 7. So 1 do not have unique image. So that's why we call it is not a function. So this will not be a function. So if I write same function into, suppose, a roster form, it will be like, okay, 1 6 1 7 2 5 3 4, and this relationship is not a function. This is not a function because 1 have 6 as well as 1 has 7. So 1 do not have unique image. 1 should have unique image. Every element of A must have a unique image in set B. That's why it is not a function. Okay, we can do something like that, like, so let's see. A is a 1 2 3 4. Okay, suppose B is 5 6 7 8 9 10. Suppose if I'm giving you a roster form, so 1 5 2 6 3 7 4 8, like this. So this is written in roster form. So decide whether it is a function or not.
Yes, sir, it's function.
Yes.
Yes. Simply you can also see it on our diagram. You can directly see 1 has image 5, 2 has 6, 3 has 7, 4 has 8. Every element of A has a unique image in P. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10 was also there. 9, 10. So 1 has image 5, 2 has 6, 3 has 7, 4 has 8. So every element of A has unique image. That's why it is a function. So this is a roster form. You can write in set builder form also. So what are different forms? There are 3 different forms. So this form is called, this was a roster form. I hope you know already roster form. And I can write like this, x comma y such that. Now you try to see the relationship. When x is 1, y is 5. When x is 2, y is 6. When x is 3, y is 7. When x is 4, y is 8. So what relationship you can make between x and y?
X plus 4 is equal to y.
Correct. So y is equal to x plus 4 because y is just 4 more than x. Correct. Where x you can say belongs to A and y belongs to B. So this form is called set builder form. So this form is called set builder form. When we write in terms of x, y, then we relate them using a equation or a, in terms of some, we don't write elements explicitly. If we write elements explicitly, that is called roster form. If we don't write explicitly, in this equation form we write, then we call it, this form is called set builder form. And this diagram you say, you already know this is arrow diagram. So the name of this is arrow diagram. Okay, so this is called arrow diagram. So there are three way to write a function, you know. So one is this, there is this, and third is this. Okay. So this thing I can also write explicitly, like we can write y is equal to x plus 4. This is a function. Directly you can also write like this. Or y, here y will be same as fx, will denoted by fx. So fx is x plus 4. You can also write like this. Fx is x plus 4. Where now I said x belongs to A, right? Actually I defined function from A to B. So I said x belongs to A and y belongs to B. Here I have written x belongs to A and y belongs to B. So actually x comes from first set and y comes from second set. So let me write a remark. So f is a function from A to B. Okay. So there is a word comes domain. There will be a word domain of function. Domain of function. So what is the meaning of domain of function? So if function is given like this explicitly, so domain will be set A, the first set. Or you can directly see which elements have images. So in the definition of the function, it says every element of A must have a unique image in set B. That's why domain will be first set always. If function is defined from A to B, domain will be first set. If they ask you codomain, of function, so that we define it as B. Codomain is set B. And the next thing comes range. So range is important thing because in JEE they always ask you 1-2 question on it. Range of function. So what is range? So meaning of range is what? Actually what are those elements of B which are mapped by the elements of A. So notation is like this, FA means collection of elements in set B that are mapped by the elements of A. If I write definition some explicitly like set of fx such that x belongs to A. So I will make you understand by example. So look in this example, in the same example. If I look in the same example, this one. So you already know domain is the first set. If I ask you what is domain of this function, so domain is the first set. First set means A. Codomain, you know, is set B. So if I ask you what is the range, so can you tell me what is the range of this function? Yeah. So this was first set was A and second set was B. Okay. Yeah, anyone would like to try?
So 1 comma 5, 2 comma 6.
These are elements, correct. Range means, see the definition. Range is
5, 6, 7, 8.
correct, correct. So range is FA. FA means set of values of fx when x belongs to A. Or you can see what are the elements in B which are mapped by elements of A. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8 only. So this will be range. So range is a set of images from set A. So codomain is whole set B. So codomain is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 because B set is codomain. But range set will be only 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 5, 6, 7, 8. Because only these are mapped. So from here you can also say, are you getting? So one has image 5, or in the order pair if you see, look here, if I write in roster form, so first elements are domain. In order pair, all the first elements, collection of first elements will be domain. So what are the first element? 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is domain. Domain means set A. Set of second element will be range. Range. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will come in range. So if you write in roster form, then in the order pairs, all the collection of first elements will form domain, and all the second element will form range. So range is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so actually this was an easier example. In exam they will ask you some difficult question. We will discuss that too. So I discussed this if function from A to B, and sometimes they will not give you this function from A to B. They will just give you y is equal to fx, and they will ask you what is domain. In that case they will give you y is equal to fx and ask you what is the domain of the function. Domain of function f. So here A is not given actually. You have to find A set. So what you have to decide, ki what is the domain. F is from what set to what set. So A is domain. Okay, you instead of A you can write this. So but this will not be given to you. You have to find. So in that case, how will we find domain? So domain definition in that case is, if I write the definition of domain in that case, when you don't have, you have given just this thing. So means what? The collection of, or the set of all possible values of x when fx is defined. What it said? The collection of all possible values of x when fx is defined. This is a domain. So for example, like they will ask you, they will give you the function. Suppose I'll just give you 1 upon x. Okay, actually we are discussing real functions. Okay, real function, real valued function. So here what I want to say, we are defining f from R to R. R to R type means this A will be subset of real number and this B will also be subset of real number. We will not go into complex number. Okay, so we are just discussing real function and real valued function. We are discussing a real function. So what is a real function? Domain must be subset of real number, and we will always see real valued function. A real valued function is what? The codomain must be a subset of real numbers. Okay, so we will just talk on real numbers. We will not see complex number in the calculus. We are just discussing real numbers. Okay, so let me come to the point. So y is equal to fx. Domain, I said, the collection of all possible values of x when fx is defined. Okay, so tell me, this function is defined for what values of x? So you tell me what values of x will make it not defined. So function will be not defined for what value
0.
of x? 0, correct. So when you put x is equal to 0, your fx will be not defined.
Yes.
So means 0 cannot be included in the domain, because domain is what? All possible values of x when fx is defined. So except 0, whatever x you will take, this function will be defined, or this function will give you some finite value. Some answer it will always give, some answer given it will be defined. At 0 only it will be not defined. So domain of this particular function will be domain all real numbers except 0. This is in word. In mathematical sense I will write, so domain is all real number except 0. Minus means we are accepting all real number except 0. Or you can write in set also, set of x such that x is real number, all real number it can take, but x cannot take 0, like this. So this is domain set, all x which can be real number but not 0. This is domain. Okay, one more example let me give you. Example, fx is root under 9 minus x. Okay, so can you tell me domain of this function?
Nine to infinity.
Yes, so
10 to
9 to infinity, or okay, you want to say 9 to infinity. So suppose I put value 10, you put x is equal to 10. What will be the fx at x is equal to 10?
it will become minus
So
1.
do you know the value of root minus 1? It's iota, but iota we will not discuss complex number here, we will just discuss real numbers, right? So do you think 10 will be in the domain?
No, sir.
No, just try more. So
Sir,
that
1
answer
to
is
9.
only 1 to 9. Can we not put 0 here? If we put x is equal to 0, what will be the output? So can we put minus 1?
9 to negative infinity.
Yes, sir.
Matlab minus infinity to 9, whatever value you will take, it will give you some answer. Some answer it will give, means some finite answer it will give, means defined answer it will give. Actually, so this root function is defined. Root function is defined when the quantity inside root must be positive or 0, because if you find square root of negative number, it will give you complex number, but we are not interested in complex numbers in the functions, so we just want real numbers. Okay, so 9 minus x should have more values more than equal to 0. So okay, so send this minus x into right side. So 9 is more than equal to x, or you can write x is less than equal to 9. Fine, x is less than equal to 9. So this is the domain. Okay, in the interval form, if you want to write, what do you write in intervals? Okay, here is minus infinity, here is plus infinity. I'm writing on number line. Okay, this is the number line. So suppose 9 is here. So you decided, okay, x must be less than equal to 9, including 9. Okay, so in interval, if I write the same thing, so this thing will be x belongs to open at minus infinity, closed at 9. So you know, this is closed interval. Closed means we are including the end point. This is open, so we are excluding the end point. So x can take value between minus infinity and 9, including 9. So this is the domain. So domain is a set. This is called interval. Acha, something if you are not familiar, you tell me, I will explain. Suppose you don't know interval, then I will explain what is interval. So that you will tell, then I will get to know that, okay, what thing you know, what you don't know, then I will explain that. So this interval is the domain. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me give you one more example, then we'll come to range. Fx is square root of 9 minus x square. So we want to try for the domain. Try the domain of this function.
Minus 3 to 3.
Correct. Yes.
Same, sir.
Hmm. So you answered correctly. So this is defined when 9 minus x square must be more than equal to 0. This quantity should be more than equal to 0. So from here you take x square on the right side, so you will get x square is less than equal to 9. The same as, right, you can write 9 more than equal to x square. This is same as this, x square less than equal to 9. Now x square will be less than equal to 9 when x will be more than equal to minus 3 and less than equal to 3. You know, minus 3 square is also 9, 3 square is also 9. So x square can take value less than equal to 9 when x will take value between minus 3 and 3. So on the number line you can see, you select any number between minus 3 and 3. So like minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And in fact take decimal value also. In between you can take any number, 0.5, minus 0.5, minus 2.5, plus 2.5, like that. Any number you can take. So in interval if I write, x will belong to closed interval at minus 3 and closed at 3. We write closed due to equality. So domain is closed interval minus 3 to 3. So just domain meaning what are the all possible values of x for which the function will be defined. Okay, if you take any other value out of this interval, outside this interval, then the function will be not defined. For example, if you put x is equal to 4, so 9 minus 16 will be root under minus 7, right? And we cannot find root minus 7 as a real number. It will not be a real number. That means we will consider it as not defined, because we don't want complex number. Okay, let's come to a range. So what I said, when you have just given a function, they will not ask you codomain. If they ask you, you can write just real number. So codomain is by default real number if it is not given to you. So they will not ask you codomain in this case, in fact. So because codomain is second set, but they have not mentioned. So by default we'll take set of real number. If they ask somewhere, or if you need somewhere, then you will consider codomain as a real number always. They will just ask you domain and range. Domain is what are the possible values of x, range is what are the possible values of y. Simple. So let's come to a definition of a range. So we have given y is equal to fx function, and they want what is the range of function. So range means the set or the collection of all possible values of y, or you can say fx, because both are same. So possible values of y or fx when x belongs to or x lies in, so x belongs to domain. So for the x belongs to domain, what are the possible values of fx? That will be range. Okay, so let me give you example. Okay, so fx is equal to, suppose I have a last example, I considered 9 minus x square. Okay, so in the example you decided domain is minus 3 to 3. Okay, now tell me what is the range. Range means what is the possible values of y. What are the possible values of y? What is the interval? Y or fx, same thing.
Zero five
3.
0 2, yes, 0 to 3, right? So minimum value you will get is 0, maximum you can get till 3. Yes, because when you put x is equal to 0, you will get answer 3. When you put x is equal to 3 or minus 3, then you will get fx as 0. Okay, so actually if you see, I want to get the range. So since x is between minus 3 and 3, as we have find it earlier, then obviously you know x square will be less than 9, less than equal to 9. So 9 minus x square will be more than equal to 0, obviously. This thing we started. So but 9 minus x square, it's fine, more than equal to 0, but it will always be less than equal to 9 also, right? 9 minus x square will not exceed 9, so 9 minus x square will be less than equal to 9 and more than equal to 0 when for x belongs to minus 3 and 3. So now you take a square root in all sides. So if you take square root of 0 is 0, square root of 9 is only 3. So from here you see, okay, this was the fx is more than equal to 0 and less than equal to 3, or you can simply write fx is more than equal to 0, less than equal to 3. So if we write in interval, fx will belong to close interval 0 to close 3. So this is the range. So range is what are the possible values of fx. So that is 0 to 3. This is the range. So if anyone has any doubt or something is not clear, you just ask. You have to decide what are the possible values of function fx. Okay, so let me give you one question that was asked in JEE exam, JEE mains. So question is, I will write two questions and both were asked in JEE mains. Question is, find domain and range. Domain and range. So first is fx is equal to x upon x square plus 1. This was asked in JEE mains. And second, x square upon x square plus 1. Try both. You have to find domain as well as range. So take 5 minutes, you just try, think over it, then I will solve for you. First you try. So find domain and range is both the questions. Okay, Pratiksha, you said your voice is very low, so are you able to hear me well now? You can, okay, clear, good. Acha, when I write, tell me one thing, when I write, so do you see, hear the sound of pen? I mean, some friction on between pen and screen?
No, sir.
Okay, good. That's fine. Yes.
Domain is 0 to infinity.
For the first or which one? You repeat, I could not hear you.
So first one domain is 0.
Okay, the first one you said domain is 0 to infinity. Okay, for the first part. Okay. Yes, good, you tried. So one who tries is always better than those who don't try. Whether its answer
So
is correct
the
or incorrect. Hmm.
so the range is uh, y is less than half.
Y is less than half. Okay.
So second one x minus infinity to plus infinity.
Okay, x minus infinity to plus infinity, any value.
The for second one the range is less than 1. Y is less than 1.
Okay. Okay, so answer is actually there are many methods to solve it. Okay, so one method I will try is, okay, so see, in the first part, let us discuss first part. So you tell me what are the values of x at which this function will be not defined. So you can tell me any one value of x at which the function will be not defined. Answer will come not defined or infinity will come. Do you see any such x? Try to find. If you put x is equal to 0, answer will be 0. If you put x is equal to 1, answer will come 1 upon 2. If you put x is equal to minus 1, or you can take decimal values also. For example, I am taking only integers, but you can take minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 1.1, 1.2, any value you can take as x. Just for simplicity, I am taking integer only. So do you see any value where the function will be not defined?
No,
No.
sir.
No. Means what? Means you tried good, but x can be any real number. Any real number means x a minus infinity to plus infinity, you can select any x because it is always defined. Matlab whatever x we select, it will be defined. So domain is, definition of domain is what? What are the values of x at which function is defined? So domain will be all real number in the first part. Same thing in the second part also. This is correct answer, because whatever x you will take, it will always give you some finite answer, some output it will give. It will never give you not defined. So means x we can select anything. Anything means we are discussing real valued function and real function. So x can take any real values. This is fine. So in both the case, domain is going to be real number. In both the case, domain is set of all real number. All real number means interval minus infinity to plus infinity. But any value I can take, any real number I can take as x, it will always be defined. Now let's come to range. So for the range thing, we have many way. So I will try using one way. Okay, so both question were asked in mains. Okay, they asked range especially, not domain, because domain is very clear. So you are just beginner, so you might be finding difficult, but after some time you will feel, oh, it's very easy question. So let me find the range of first one. Okay, so the first question, it is answer for the first question. Fx is x upon x square plus 1. So one thing, first you will see the intuition, or you will put the value, you will try to find the so I know many way. Okay, so let's start with one way. Okay, so not wasting time, let's start with one way. So first way I see here, if I divide both numerator and denominator, acha, when x is 0, answer is 0, right? When you put x is equal to 0, answer is 0, so no problem, 0 will be in the range. Otherwise 0, so what you do when x is non-zero? Okay, suppose you divide both numerator and denominator by x. What are I doing? Divide numerator and denominator by x. So what will happen? 1 upon x plus 1 by x. What I did? Divide numerator and denominator by x. So x upon x is 1 in the numerator, and x square upon x is x, 1 upon x. Why I am doing so? In this way I want to use, there is a rule called AMGM inequality. AMGM inequality. What it says? A plus b by 2 is more than equal to a into b square root. Arithmetic mean, we call it arithmetic mean between two numbers. So if you do cross multiplication, so a plus b is more than equal to 2 times root ab. Okay, so let's replace a by x and b by 1 by x. So this is going to be, am I doing right? Acha, what I want? Okay, yeah, fine. So x plus 1 by x is more than equal to 2 times root under x into 1 by x. Okay. So after if cancelling out, the square root of 1 is 1. So what you get? X plus 1 by x is more than equal to 2. Okay, but we need 1 upon x plus 1 by x. Okay, so here I am considering x positive. For the positive value of x, I am deciding. Okay, so what will happen now? Because this rule is valid only when a is positive and b is positive. Okay, this rule is valid. So we are doing for positive x is more than 0, this thing. So when x is more than 0, okay, let's take reciprocal. So 1 upon x plus 1 by x. When you take reciprocal, inequality changes. So x plus 1 by x was more than equal to 2. You are taking reciprocal. So 1 upon x plus 1 by x will be less than equal to 1 upon 2. Okay, and this was same as our function, this thing. Okay, so when for positive thing, so this is same as this. If you accept 0, so means you can say, okay, if you take LCM, you will get like, okay, x upon x square plus 1. This is less than equal to half. One thing you get when for x is positive. Okay, what if x is negative? So this was when x is positive. This was when x is positive. Suppose x is negative, then I want to apply the same rule, but x is negative, so you know minus x will be positive. Here in this rule, AB must be positive number. So okay, no problem. So we have rule a plus b more than equal to 2 root AB. Fine. So a you replace as minus x, b you replace as 1 upon minus x. Now you can see a is positive, b is positive, because here x second case, this was the second case when x I have taken as negative number. So in case of negative number, a plus b more than equal to 2 root ab. So more than equal to 2 root minus x into 1 upon minus x. Again this will be cancelled. So you will get minus x minus 1 upon x more than equal to 2, because root 1 is 1. So minus you can take common, x plus 1 by x more than equal to 2. Okay, you shift this minus into right side. So multiply minus 1 both side. So when you multiply negative number both side, inequality changes. So if inequality you have done, you might be knowing the rule. When we multiply negative number both side, inequality changes. Here I use the concept, when we do reciprocal on both sides, inequality changes. These are the some rules of inequality. So we multiply minus both sides, inequality will change. It was more than equal to, now it is less than equal to. But we need the function was reciprocal, so again you take the reciprocal, x plus 1 by x, now it is more than equal to minus 1 upon 2, and it will come 1 upon minus 2, 1 upon minus 2. And if you simplify, this is nothing but x upon x square plus 1. Simplify it, take LCM, this is more than equal to minus half. So what do you decide? When x is negative, it is going to be more than equal to minus half. When it is positive, it is going to be less than equal to half. So see what I am trying to say. Fx was x upon x square plus 1, and what I proved, it is 0 when x is 0. It is always less than equal to 1 by 2 when x is positive. It is always more than equal to minus 1 by 2 when x is negative. So I just want to say, you look at the function. You just look at the function and decide. Okay. 1 minute, my breakfast came, so let me collect. Okay, so if you take x positive, your fx will be positive. Are you getting? You put x 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get positive number. If you put x negative, your answer will be negative. So that's why, and x is 0, function is 0. So from here, what I would like to conclude, your number x upon x square plus 1 is more than equal to minus 1 by 2 and less than equal to 1 by 2. So means for all x belongs to real number, because at a positive number it will give you positive less than half, at negative real number it will give you negative more than minus half, at 0 it will give you 0. So fx is more than equal to half, minus half, less than equal to half for all x belongs to real number. So range we get is minus half to half. Okay, so this is the range. This is one method, and I think this might be difficult for you, I think. So let me do by other way. So here I used AMGM inequality. So range is this. Okay, so are you able to understand, or you face difficulty?
Clear, sir.
Okay, so I just use AMGM inequality. I have other way also, so I will try by other way. Okay, let me do the second question in the same way, then we'll do both question again by other way. So let me do the second question in the same method. So same method means fx, we have second question, x square upon 1 plus x square. Again, when x is 0, you can simply see, okay, fx is 0. Acha, one thing you can see here is, okay, numerator is positive, denominator is positive. Numerator is positive including 0, so 0 is not positive, means numerator is more than equal to 0, denominator is more than 0. So finally fx is going to be more than equal to 0, fine. So okay, let me not make it complicated. This is easier one actually. So you can simply decide this is more than equal to 0. You know why? Because x square is always more than equal to 0. 1 plus x square will always be more than equal to 0. So no point of being it negative. You take whatever x, your answer will be always positive. It is clear because square is everywhere. Okay. Now you know about fraction. If fraction is p upon q, if denominator is more than numerator, then what can you say about fraction? It will be more than 1 or less than 1.
Less than 1.
Fine. Yeah, so you can notice
Less
here,
than
numerator is x square and denominator is 1 plus x square. So denominator will be always more than numerator. Whatever x you select minus 100, plus 100, 2, 3, 4, anything you take x, denominator is always going to be more than the numerator. So this fraction is always going to less than 1. Acha, can we get 1 at any point of time? Matlab, is there any x at which we will get function value 1?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
because 1 can be get when p and q are equal, then you can get 1. But here there is no point of being p and q equal, because one is x square, other one is 1 plus x square, so they will never be equal. So you cannot put equality here, this will be wrong. Okay, you cannot take equality. 0 you can take equality, because at x is equal to 0 you are going to get 0. So the minimum value is 0 and maximum is will be less than 1. Okay, so what I want to say directly, I have written it, I have not applied AMGM. I will apply AMGM, still I will get the same answer. So 1 minute. So here I decided just x square upon 1 plus x square, numerator denominator both positive, so whole fraction is positive, and denominator is more than numerator, that's why it is less than 1. So fx is 0 to 1. So range is going to be, if I write in interval, so close at 0, open at 1. Why I am writing open at 1? Because there is no equality at 1, that's why. Okay, so I am writing that's why open at 1. So range is close at 0, open at 1. This is the range of this function. Okay, so range in second part we got 0 to 1. Okay, if I solve by other way, so let me try AMGM in the second part also. Okay, so let me do method 2 in the second part only, then I will come to first question and do the other method. So x square upon x square plus 1 or 1 plus x square. So what if we divide by x square both numerator and denominator? It will come, okay, but that will make it complicated, because 1 plus 1 by x square, then how will you make it? No, so this will make it difficult. Okay, so let me come to the other way. So we cannot apply AMGM here. I applied in first part because it was easier because of x and 1 by x. It was easier because of this x plus 1 by x. Sorry. So x plus 1 by x. The other method is, I wanted to say, so okay, in the second part you don't need any other method. This is very easier one. This can be understood very easily. So that's why you don't need any other method. Other method will take much more time than this only. You just have to observe the function. So okay, so this is fine. Okay, and I wanted to try the other way, right? So I wanted to try the other way. So we can use maximum minima concept to find the range. So in maximum minima, what do we do? Do you know differentiation?
Yes.
Quotient rule.
No, sir.
Okay, you don't know. Okay, so when we do differentiation, so from differentiation actually there is a topic application of derivative, and in application of derivative what they help us to find maximum and minimum value of any function, in fact any continuous function. So in the application of derivative we will learn how to find the maximum and minimum value of a function using differentiation. So basic differentiation you might be knowing because you use in physics, but you can apply here. So we can use a derivative to find maximum value of this, minimum value of this. Obviously maximum will come half, minimum will come minus half. Again here we can also try to use maximum minimum value by differentiation, but you don't know differentiation. Okay, so by this point of time we know the value of range of both the function. So okay, let me try the first part again by other way. I would like to see any other way. X upon x square plus 1, right? Okay, so let's start at 0, we get answer 0. At 1 we get answer 1 upon 2. Okay, at minus 1 we get answer minus 1 upon 2. At 2 we'll get answer 2 upon 5. At minus 2 we'll get minus 2 upon 5. Okay, so 2 upon 5 will be approximately 0.4, right? 5 4s are 20. It is minus 0.4. This is going to be 0.5 and minus 0.5. You take any other value. Suppose I take x is equal to 1 by 2. So at 1 by 2, it will be 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1. 1 by 2 by 1 by 4 plus 1. It will give us 1 by 2 upon 5 by 4. So 1 by 2 into 4 by 5 is going to be 2 by 5. Again 0.4. Okay. Okay, x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Again you will get same value. I mean what you got at minus 2. So minus 2 and minus 1 by 2 you will get the same value. So fx you will get as minus 0.4. Okay, you take any other value, what will happen? When you take any other value, you will get, so if you will be knowing the, okay, let me find f dash x. So I wanted to find f dash x. So there is a formula of differentiation, u upon v. If there are two functions in this form, so what do? You keep v as it is, you differentiate u, dash means differentiation, minus you put u as it is, you differentiate v upon v square. So if I apply this differentiation formula over it, so what will happen? Okay, so since you don't know differentiation, when we know the differentiation, when we will see the differentiation, then we can do this problem. So by this point of time you have arranged this, okay, and for the second part and first part range was minus half to half. You can think over it, you can try some other way. There are many way, okay, it's not there one way. If I know only 1 2 way, is it not that there are only 1 2 way? There might be many way. If you think in your own way, you might get some better way to find the many range. So today we just discussed introduction to function, what is a function, introduction to domain and range. So after my class, you take any book of calculus, whatever book is available to you, you search in Google, you go through this topic, okay, you read about it, you solve a lot of problems, because if you want to be good in mathematics, you have to solve a lot of problems, lot of different type of problems. That will make your concept wide, okay, then you will think very good way. So you just go through it, and if you have any doubt, so you ask me in the next class. This was 1 hour class, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today I will finish only here. And do you want to ask something? I will share this PDF to you all guys. I will share with ma'am, and she will share to you. Okay. Any question to anyone from me? Anyone want to ask any question?
Yes, sir. No question.
Yeah. Okay, no question. Okay. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. So I will request you, after the class, you just open your book or YouTube or something, whatever way you follow to learn. The book is the best option. So you open your calculus book, you go through function, domain, range, okay, and then we'll meet in the next class. We'll do onwards things. Okay, then thank you so much everyone. Nice meeting
Thank you,
you
sir.
today after so long time. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you and take care.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.